So you've had to play almost a dual role in this, where you're playing someone in a state after some strokes, and you're also playing him as a vital in a flashback as the vital curse master. So between those, and 10 days to shoot, right? So where did you come upon this character? What was most about this character like you, and how did you show that in the movie?
I think deep sense of spirituality and connection with the higher power. I was very adamant when I had a nice long, like 3-hour conversation with Gabe, the director, from what was originally on the paper. I said, no, certain things I said, this can't be this way, this can't be this way, this can't be this way. He said, why? I said, because I don't want this character at all to resemble or be confused or be in any way mistaken for a santero.
Which is?
The Santeria, the Yoruba religion, which is often associated with everything Cuban and often and practiced by a large population of Cubans.
Now you're talking Yoruba, that's the African
African, which yes, it's the religion that was brought by the African slaves to the Caribbean, to Brazil, to South America. Got it. They dress in white. They do offerings to their deities with sacrifices of animals and certain things. Now,
you didn't want that kind of...
I didn't want that because, for one, first and foremost, I said that is someone's religion, and I want to respect it, number one. Number two, it's been done a gajillion billion times before with everything Cuban, and I don't want to play a cliche. And I thank God that Gabe gave me green light to go as far as I wanted to, while always keeping it grounded in truth. And at one point he said something to me when I asked him for a note. I said, wait, dude, I know Radell is over the top, but am I being too over? He's like, no, you're not being too over the top. He is over the top, but because you're grounding him, everything else about him.
There was nothing phony about him.
Right. He really believes what he does, and he really loves who he loves, and he...
So let's talk about the portion playing him ill when he had strokes. Now, did you do research into that area, or did you just kind of fly?
No, that was very special to me because my grandmother had a stroke back in '92, which left her paralyzed for the last 12 years of her life. And thank God her mind was always very clear. It didn't affect her memory or anything like that. So I was able to enjoy her and be with her literally to her last breath.
That's crazy.
But I studied Meisner, and it's, when we do character work, it's what's called impediment, long time ago, here in LA. And impediment work is everything from an accent to physicality.
Right.
And I always thought to myself, God, if one day I'm ever given the opportunity to play a stroke victim, to be able to bring that to life, to be able to... And for as menacing and mean and mysterious as I look and I'm often casted, my mom said to me when I started acting, Te tienen que dejar hacer comedia. They have to let you do comedy one day because you're really a funny guy. You're really funny, And I know then when I moved to LA and I started, as I say, making friends as a grown-up, people who were just meeting me in my 30s at the time were like, dude, you have this comedic timing and this pan face. All the people who know me well know me as a clown. I always say that in real life I'm a hybrid between Kramer and the Big Lebowski for real, and sometimes one takes over more than the other with a Cuban twist.
I got you.
So
it's like a drink.
Yeah. So I have a couple of close friends who are like, I'll just sit here and watch you run back and forth trying to get ready to get out of the house.
They must be thrilled by this, or if they've seen.
Nobody's seen it yet. Nobody's seen it. So thrilled. To me, it's like beyond special.
What's the first thing you think about when you think about your love for acting, performing, doing comedy, whatever you do in the performance realm? What's the first thing you think about when you think about your love for it?
Truth. Whatever it is, it's got to come from the deepest, truest place. When to go back to my Meisner training years back, I was struggling at first. I wasn't getting this repetition stuff and all this stuff that we were doing. And I said to my teacher, I'm not getting this, Alex. What is it? And he said, well, what are you doing? And I explained to him how I was preparing my exercises for class. And he said, man, you're working backwards. He says, take what means the world to you.
Right.
And create from there.
Okay.
And I said, what do you mean? He said, I've only known you for a few months, but I already know your mother, your grandmother's memory, your Cuban culture, and at the time I had a pack of dogs. I used to rescue dogs and foster them and whatnot, and your dogs mean the world to you. He says,
start there.
You go from there on anything you do, and you will have an endless well to create from for the rest of your life. And I always, some way, somehow, it always comes from there, from that place of love. Even to your previous question, which we scratched, I had a related thought yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I thought to myself, man, I know I was, like, I struggled with putting the curse, because I thought, am I energetically going to do something that's going to bleed into real life? Am I going to, I was a little worried.
Sure, the spirit of acting and the spirit of passion.
Right? In spiritus, inspired means in spirit, And so I thought to myself, well, no, it wasn't too much, because he fucked with what I love most. Because of him, they took my daughter from me. So that's it. Gloves are off. All rules are out. I will kill you if I have to kill for my daughter. You know what I mean?
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2026.